Hello and welcome dear viewers to the another topic on QBD, and the current topic is control strategy. So out of the elements of quality by design approach for the product development, control strategy is one of the very important aspect, and the control strategy involves the setting the limits and ranges for the variables which affect the critical quality attributes. So in a brief we will see the quality uh, related parameters and what are the QBD elements which are required to achieve the desired quality for the formulation. So the QBD elements are QTPP, then CQA, CMA, CPP, CS, and in the last there will be a life cycle management approach. So QTPP is quality target product profile, CQA is critical quality attribute, CMA is critical material attribute, CPP is critical process parameter, CS is the control strategy. So earlier approach in the pharmaceutical field was to check the quality of the pharmaceutical formulation, but that changed and then the concept of QBD came. So QBD is the concept of building the quality in the pharmaceutical formulation, and the quality by design approach is there to build the quality, and how this quality is designed, or the quality product is designed, or the quality is built into the product. That is very important to understand here. See, QTPP is the desired product profile. Whenever you are going to work on a formulation design, that time there should be a QTPP ready before the development, so that you will understand what is the target for the pharmaceutical product development, what are the desired quality attributes. So after QTPP, the CQA will come, and CQA are those quality attributes on which the product safety and efficacy is depends. Then after completion of the CQAs, after understanding of the CQAs of the product, then the things which are critical for the CQAs to achieve are CMA and CPP. So pharmaceutical formulation is made up of the active material and the raw material, that is excipient. Then these excipients and raw materials and APIs are processed to form the final product, and that process will have some variables, some parameters which will impact the formulation. Then that time comes the critical process parameters. So the CMAs and CPPs will have impact onto the CQAs, and once you thoroughly understand the CMAs and CPPs, then there should be a control on the variability of CMA and CPP, and that control is known as the control strategy. How you are going to control the variations in the CMAs and CPPs which will impact your CQAs. So CS is the control strategy which controls the variation in the CMAs and CPPs, and in turn it will help to have the consistent quality into the formulation. Safety and efficacy of the product is the key point in the QBD. Then we will see the requirement for the QBD elements. CMA and CPP ranges are required. If you want to have a control strategy, that time you should have the CMA and CPP ranges. These ranges are finalized on the basis of scientific understanding and the studies. There are certain ways to understand the ranges for the process and the levels for the excipients and the critical material attributes of the raw materials. The raw materials may be drug substance, that is API, and the excipients. These ranges are required to be validated and confirmed. The ranges once found out, then these ranges are finalized so that consistently the product is manufactured with the required quality. In the formulation development, the formula is prepared, the excipient and their grades are finalized, their concentration is finalized. After that, the process is finalized, and after the finalization of process and the formula, then the ranges are required to be studied. These ranges are studied for the critical material attributes and for the critical process parameters. During the commercial manufacturing, the product is consistently improved and the controls are updated and validated. So it is a continuous process. Once the product is finalized, the product is approved and it goes into the commercial manufacturing. Still, there are the requirements and there are the ways to improve the quality of the formulation, and this is called as the product life cycle management and continual improvement. Then control strategy. So this is the very important part of this video. The control strategy is the set of limits and the ranges for the variables which have impact onto the product quality attributes. The limits and ranges are given to the CMAs like drug substance CMAs, excipient CMAs, packaging material CMAs. So there are the limits, there are the ranges in which if the materials are used, then these range in the ranges the materials will not impact onto the CQS and product will have the desired quality. Then the CPP, that is critical process parameter. This involves the equipment operating conditions, then process parameters, in process specifications, and the finished product specifications. So specification is another part of the control strategy which controls the quality of the in process material and quality of the finished formulation. Equipment operating conditions involves the important parameters like the occupancies, the design of the equipments, the processing times, the speed of the machines, and the critical process parameters like for example the machine speed in compression machine, inlet air temperature for drying for the FBP machine or FBD machine, and there are many more depending on to the unit operations involved in the manufacturing of the formulation. So CMAs and CPPs which have risk onto the CQS of the product are studied in detail and their ranges are finalized. Here I have included one example with direct compression process. So if you are working on a tablet formulation or capsule formulation with dry mixing and capsule filling or dry mixing and compression, so you will have to have the understanding of CMAs and CPPs. Also, there should be in process controls, control onto the packaging material quality and the finished product specification. So for direct compression process, CMAs like drug substance, PSD, that is particle size distribution, bulk density, tap density and flow properties are important. Similarly, as the direct compression process does not increase or decrease the particle size of the raw materials, that's why the controls onto the excipients, particle size, bulk density and flow properties is required. Then direct compression process involves the shifting of the raw materials, mixing or blending of the raw materials and the compression to form the tablet. So for mixing and blending, the critical process parameters like blender RPM, that is blender speed, and the mixing time is very important. Similarly for compression, the machine speed and the compression force are the critical process parameters. Then there are in-process controls required for the direct compression process or dry mixing and capsule filling process. So in-process controls are the blend uniformity, assay, bulk density, tap density, content uniformity for the tablets. So for blend, mainly the blend uniformity, densities like tap density, bulk density and assay is critical. And for the compressed tablets, along with the other test, CU is very important, that is content uniformity. Also for the blend, storage conditions and hold time is very critical, and that's why the controls are required on these parameters. Then after manufacturing the tablets, there should be a control onto the packaging process parameters, like if the blister packaging is there, that time in blister packaging the sealing temperature or forming temperature is very important, and the packaging material quality is very important. Once the formulation is packed, then the finished product quality control tests are there to control the product quality. So by this way, you can understand the control strategy. See, QBD is the risk-based approach for the pharmaceutical product development, and in QBD approach, the risk is calculated from the initial. With starting of the formulation development, the risk is taken into consideration, and based on the risk of the CMAs and CPPs, the control strategy is defined. So this is regarding the control strategy in quality by design. QBD related questions are generally asked in the interviews. So be prepared whenever you are going for the interview, and also try to have good understanding about the QBD elements. QBD elements like QTPP, CMAs, CQAs, critical process parameters, control strategy and the life cycle approach. These are the key elements of the quality by design. The products developed with quality by design are with the less number of failures. Generally, the product with risk-based approach and the QBD approach are very less likely to fail in the CQS compared to the product for which the risk assessment is not done. So QBD is very important. QBD risk assessment and quality by design approach for the formulation development is the requirement of the regulatory authorities. And with a proper quality by design approach, the product approval can be faster. So have good understanding about these topics and keep watching the videos on pharma learning in depth. Let's meet soon with such kind of informative video. Thanks for watching. Thank you.